This farm was purchased in 1986 with the ideas of actually having a whole lot of wildlife projects, game capture, export, import of animals, rehabilitation of animals, breeding projects. And we started with that, and it really worked very well. They live happily on the farm, and we continue to do that. We then got involved with the volunteering program, which for me was very special for the simple reason that it gives me an opportunity to actually be able to give what I've done for most of my life, working with animals, and that awesome feeling I have being in Africa in the sunshine. It gives other people a chance to experience that, which I think is very important.
I want to be a vet and I want to work with wildlife, so I need to get experience. So this is really a good place because you have a lot of interaction with them. You get to learn about them, about how can we rescue them and how can we take good care of them. But there's also here all the socializing part. You make good friends and you get to spend some good time with. The mood here is really good. You're always smiling. I'm not really a cat person, but I feel like lions are less cat than a cat. Obviously they all have their own character. I could really see some differences between the days. So you could go in one day and they would be all wanted to cuddle and you can have some good time with them without fear. And you could go another day and they would be more sneaky, so you would have to be more careful. But this is how you learn how to deal with them. Obviously you have to know them and you always have to be aware. But they're really loving animals, and you can really see when they know somebody, they're really loving.
This is my third time here, so now I know what you have to do. There's always new things. We always have new experience here. Actually, my first time here. Now they are like the big ones here. But I can see they growing up. That was so amazing for me. We could like playing together, and now we can just watch them and see like they are getting real lions. You can feel like how strong they are, like how powerful they can be. Yeah, like real wild animals. So you can feel their spirit inside. The three lion girls, we started with the lion walks with them, last year. And see they getting out for the fun, to trying to go out, and they can see they trying to chase waterbirds and a lot of different pigs. That was awesome. Like you can see they really want to be a wild lion. So we are trying to help this. We are trying to motivate this.
If you told me 20 years ago that lion numbers were going to be threatened as much as they are, I would never have believed you. Lions breed, their gestation period is 110 days and 4 or 5 little cubs pop out. They're easy to breed, they're easy to raise, etc. But wild lions are becoming more and more threatened through diseases, through being poached for bone trade, the lion bone trade, etc. So we have a crisis situation with lions, which should never have happened. We don't breed lions. We have lions here that have come to us genetically, except for 1 or 2, which have arrived here purely to live their life out with us. Lions are relatively easy to work with, to hand raise, as I said. Not that easy to relocate, not that easily to put in wild areas because of the area that they have to go into. Their instinct is there. Lions, I've always said, are 80% instinct, 20% IQ. They're not particularly bright, but their instinct is huge. So they can look after themselves, provided the area that they put into can sustain them. Do you know, we sometimes get a bit of flack about having animals in captivity, and especially obviously lions in captivity. Maybe it sounds like I'm just trying to make an excuse for ourselves, but it is actually the case. Anybody who will know lions, they don't need huge areas to roam, and lions are fundamentally lazy. Cheetahs are not lazy. Cheetahs like room to move. They love to run. That's part of what they do. Lions, provided they're being fed, they have a nice girlfriend, and they can sleep safely, they're happy. They really are. And if you have a nice camp with everything in there, with good fresh water, that they're fed correctly, they're looked after, they have shelter, and they like to be in a pride. They are very, very sociable, and they love to be with each other, and they love to love each other. They're amazing animals. Provided you have that, lions are very happy. They don't need too much. And I think we learn an enormous amount, and I do believe that having people coming through this property, learning and living with our lions, and learning the day-to-day, the way we talk with the lions, the way we walk with the lions, the way we work with them, and what we're learning, I just hope that the volunteers and people that come through here get a little bit of that essence of that and how important it is for lions in the future.
These two parts, there's the social part and the animal part. Obviously, I'm against zoos, but this is not a zoo. All the animals here are rescued and cannot be released. So we're just being part of taking care of them, and they're good, and you obviously learn about them. And it's also a good time, a good break, a good summer vacation or whatever. You really get close friends because you spend 24 hours with them, like 7 days, and you get to learn more about yourself. I would say it's better to come alone because then you get to see yourself dealing with other people and animals and stuff. But it's definitely something that you come here and you're out of the reality with us, which is why we come. So.